Have you ever been called aggressive, but you were really just trying to be direct? I'm sure we all have. Let's go. There's a huge misunderstanding in relationships that destroys communication. People confuse being direct with being aggressive, and they confuse avoiding the conversation with keeping the peace. But here's the truth. Aggression destroys connection, avoidance delays connection, and direct communication repairs connection. When someone is aggressive, the goal is power. Their voice, their tone, their words, they're meant to dominate, push, or control the conversation. Aggression sounds like this. You're wrong. You better listen. This is your fault. Aggression isn't about understanding, it's about winning. But being direct is completely different. When someone is direct, the goal isn't to attack. It's to address the problem clearly so both people can move forward. Direct doesn't always sound sweet. It doesn't always come out wrapped in soft language either. Some may sound harsh when they speak honestly, not because they're being aggressive, but because they care enough to speak up and give their opinion. There isn't always a quote nice end quote or perfectly gentle way to express something painful. Real emotions aren't always wrapped in a bow. Sometimes the most respectful thing you can do is to be honest. Direct communication can be, I love you, but this hurt me. I'm upset and we need to fix this. I'm telling you the truth, but this matters to me. Now, before we move on, I think it's also important to note that cultural context may also influence your communication efforts. I understand there are some universal truths out there, but depending on how you grew up, where your community thinks about relationships, and also about directness, could potentially impact how you communicate. I'll probably tackle that topic at another time, but let's continue. See, aggression tears a person down. Directness tries to lift the relationship up by getting to the core of the issue. And here's something most people will never admit. Sometimes the person receiving the truth only hears the tone, not the message. See, it's taken me many years to get over my initial gag reflex when I thought someone's tone was being aggressive and I was honestly just really in my feelings. Now, don't get it twisted. No one should condone anyone being disrespectful or being an ass, and definitely not a bully. That goes for men and for women. But unfortunately, people may hear volume, emotion, frustration, and just straight tune out and miss the meaning behind the message. See, being accountable, really accountable, is difficult. Sometimes the accusation is fair. Sometimes we really did hurt someone, and sometimes we really were selfish, careless, or disrespectful. And accepting that is uncomfortable. Someone who is accountable would say, you're right, I can do better. Someone who is dismissive would say, you're being aggressive. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is just to protect the ego. Now let's talk about the other extreme. Being silent. When someone shuts down in the middle of an issue and refuses to communicate, obviously bearing abuse, this is called avoidance. And there is a huge difference between avoidance and being passive aggressive and refusing to talk. Now, if you haven't checked out my previous video on being a passive aggressive, go check it out. I'll leave it in the description in the links below. So let's face it. Most times, silence doesn't solve anything. Silence may protect what's in the moment, but could potentially damage the relationship in the future. Avoiding the problem won't make the issue disappear either. It could just keep growing and growing to a point where it is overwhelming for both parties. The person trying to talk feels unheard, unimportant, and alone. The person shutting down feels overwhelmed, scared, or afraid to say the wrong thing. Avoidance, most of the time, isn't peace. It's delayed pain. The healthiest communication is somewhere in the middle ground. Not attacking, not avoiding, but speaking directly. Direct communication could sound like this: I'm angry, but I'm here to solve this. I don't like how this made me feel, and we need to fix it. Look, I'm not trying to win, but I am trying to understand. And if emotions are too high, try this. I need a minute to calm down, but I'm not walking away. We will talk about this later. Now, I know this might sound corny, but we are looking for results here. That stops silence from turning into abandonment. It turns a shutdown into a pause instead of a rejection. Because being direct is love trying to save the relationship. Avoidance through silence is fear trying to maneuver around the relationship. And aggression is pain trying to control the relationship. So don't confuse someone's honesty with aggression, and don't confuse someone's tone with disrespect when the message is actually valid. They may not say it perfectly, they may not say it softly, they may not say it with the best tone, but at least they're saying something that could potentially benefit the both of you. Because nothing changes without conversation, nothing heals without truth, and nothing gets better by staying silent. If you care, you communicate, not to shame each other, not to win, but to understand and be understood. So the next time someone tells you how they feel, instead of judging their delivery, try listening to the message. And the next time you need to speak up, don't stay silent just to avoid discomfort. Direct doesn't mean aggressive. Direct means honest. Aggression breaks connection. Avoidance delays connection. And directness rebuilds connection. Let me repeat that. Aggression breaks connection. Avoidance delays connection. Directness rebuilds connection. Love doesn't need perfection, just honesty, effort, accountability, and a voice that's willing to speak. If you like, go ahead and leave a comment, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more real conversations about communication, love, and emotional growth. Right here on Mr. Uncomfortable Truth. Each one, teach one, and let's build strong relationships, and intelligent ones too. All right, take care. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. Sometimes life is uncomfortable, but we have to go through it anyway. We'll see you next time. Malcolm had nothing left but long nights, old regrets, and a car that rattled like his past. Sasha, she had it all. Into the world she built came crashing down. When the paths cross, it's not love at first sight. It's honesty, discomfort, and the kind of truth most people run from. Mr. Uncomfortable, a slow burn romance about healing, heartbreak, and hope. Mr. Uncomfortable, available on print or ebook, audiobook, and soundtrack coming soon. Go to MrUncomfortable.com. That's MISTER, uncomfortable.com.